I'm still recording.
Hello and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone. My name is Donovan Martin, and it is my pleasure to welcome you today to a workshop called A Journey into Exile. A Journey into Exile is a role-playing video conference activity that puts participants in the shoes of refugees. The exercise involves refugee testimony videos, decision-making, survey responses, statistic sharing, and discussion. It is presented by Jesuit Refugee Service Canada, or JRS. JRS seeks to accompany, serve, and advocate the cause of refugees and other forcibly displaced peoples, that they may heal, learn, and determine their own future. Without further delay, I want to hand things over to Eve, our facilitator for today.
All right, thank you, Donovan. Hello, everyone. My name is Yves Deschines, and I will be facilitating our activity, A Journey into Exile. This activity created and presented by Jesuit Refugee Service Canada. We are an organization that accompanies, serves, and defends refugees. For over 40 years, we have sponsored thousands of refugees to Canada, helping them resettle and feel welcomed to their new country. All right. First of all, since our presentation is a little bit special, I invite you right away to select the speaker view. So on Zoom, on the right side, upright side, you're supposed to have view. You can click on that and click speaker view. It will be easier for you to follow the presentation. All right, after that, let's have some technical points. First, I presume you can all see me. You can all hear me. If you can, it's not essential, but we recommend headphones. At the bottom of your screen, you will see two options, one for the camera and one for your microphone. We invite you now to turn off your camera and your mic. Maybe during the presentation, you will have to use them if you want to, but we will let you know when the time is right. If you have question, if you have technical problem, I invite you to use the chat window located on the right side of your screen after you have clicked the chat icon. Put your message there, and someone from the team of our team or from the symposium team will try to help you. All right, we're set. I hope you are too. So let's begin our journey into exile.
Recording in progress.
You are human beings. You will experience exile. You will have hardships to endure. You may have to face death. But you must flee. Staying is not an option. No matter where you come from, you do not necessarily choose when you leave your home, your city, and in some cases, your country. Whether it is because of an earthquake or a bomb that exploded a few meters away, you may have to leave in a hurry. Whatever the situation, your objective is survival. and the minutes following your departure are crucial.
I was totally unprepared to leave Yemen. We left quickly, and I didn't have the chance to take my university diploma or my certificates. I never thought I would arrive in Addis. I thought I was going to die at sea. I'm so fortunate to have survived, but now I have nothing.
All right. Starting right now, you are all refugees. As we heard Safia share with us, you only have seconds to prepare for your escape. And so, not much time to decide what to bring. Here is our first activity. You will see 10 items on the screen. I will present them to you right now. All right. From the top at the left, a laser pointer, 3 elements, a bottle of water, toiletries, a first aid kit, identify documents like passport, a cover, a change of clothing, and a holy book, and a cell phone. You will have 30 seconds to choose 3 items to take on the journey. So a poll will appear on the screen. We'll try that. I hope it will work. Simply select 3 items from the 10. And don't forget to click submit. You have 30 seconds. Go. Let's try that. I hope you can see the poll. And you only have to select, yeah, it seems to work. Great. You still have a few seconds. And 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see the result. Okay, number 1, a first aid kit. After that, with 71%, identify documents, a change of clothing, and finally, we have a bottle of water, a cell phone. All right. I will stop share that. Okay. I would like you to know, I would like to know from you why you choose especially one of the other item. It's easy. You just have to open your camera. This is the sign that you want to share with us why you choose especially one item. I will give you the right to talk, if I can say like that. So let's try that. Maybe one of you want to share with the other which was your first pick and why. Let's try that. Don't be shy. It's not a school exam. It's just to have your participation. So, is there anyone want to share what they choose? Okay, Donovan, welcome and go ahead.
Well, the first thing I put down right away were the passports and identifying documents.
Why?
I feel as if it's even to get into countries such as Canada, it's extremely difficult to do, and you could be barred from entry if you don't have the proper documentation. So I said that would be my main priority.
Great. Thank you. You see, like Donovan, it's easy to do. Maybe one more person. Just put your camera on. Or if you don't want to put your camera on, just put your mic on and say hi, and I will give you the place to give your choice.
Hi.
Hello, Mo. Go ahead.
So actually this did happen to my parents when they were fleeing to
Wow.
get to the refugee camp. And one of the things that I would say it's very essential would be a first aid kit, just because you don't know what you're going to encounter, especially if there's like shooting and bombing. There's probably a first aid kit would be very helpful to like stop the bleeding or any kind of wounds.
Great. Yep. And you don't know how long you will be on the road. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for sharing. All right. So you probably ask yourself, what are the better choices? The correct answer is, well, there is not no correct answer, because usually you have a few time to get some items and leave. The point of this exercise was simply to feel the pressure of having so little time to decide what you will bring. All right. We are set. We are ready to start the journey. This is how we'll proceed. We will try at least. We need, for 3 scenarios, we need 3 candidates. And all candidates will seek to reach a country of refuge. We will have 3 finalists who will have the chance to reach a privileged place of asylum. So, to start, let's try to get 3 candidates. We are short in number, but if you lose on the first try, you will be able to be candidate again in the 2 other parts of our presentation. So, to volunteer, it's simply turn on your camera. All right, I invite you. It's an easy task. Don't be afraid. So I invite you. I need 3 people to be candidate for our first scenario. Nora, yes, sure. Welcome. If you can turn on your camera, or if you can't, at least open your microphone. Thank you. Donovan, yeah, number 2. All right. If you can open your camera or at least your microphone. Okay. Okay, Nora, I will take your answer on the chat. It's okay. No problem. Okay, I need a third person. Can I have someone else? Yeah, Mo. I'll pronounce it well. If you can open your microphone, or at least I will ask to answer on the chat. All right, Donovan, thank you. And thank you, Mo Clito, for opening your camera. All right. Here are your new identity. I will put it on the screen now. All right, Nora, you are now a ma'am. You are from Afghanistan, 63 years old, a widow. Her 5 children are dispersed throughout Europe and North America. Donovan, you are now Mahmoud from Syria, 18 years old male. And finally, Mo, you are Rojin, female, 21, from Iraq, especially from the ethnic Yazidi. So, as you can see, you are all from Central Asia or the Middle East. To escape the to escape the precarious situation in which you find yourself, you have chosen what only 5 to 10% of refugees do: embark on the perilous journey to a rich Western country. Your destination is Europe. Thanks to the money you saved, you've managed to pay smugglers to get you to Turkey. This is the road or the routes you probably used. Imam from Afghanistan, you had to cross Iran, a journey of thousands of kilometers, to finally arrive in Turkey. Mahmoud and Rojin, you come from countries that neighbor Turkey, so the journey is a bit shorter for you. So, starting from Turkey, what are your options to reach Europe? You can go via Bulgaria on foot. Bulgaria is part of the European Union, and it gets you closer to your final destination, which is Western Europe. You can also go down to west coast of Turkey, pay a smuggler to sail you by boat to Lesbos, a Greek island, which would be 5 kilometers on the Mediterranean. Or finally, you can pay a smuggler to snake you across the land between Turkey and Greece. So those are your 3 options. I will show them on your screen. So walk through Bulgaria, go to Greece by boat, or go to Greece by foot. So before you take your decision, we'll ask everyone to answer a new poll. It will appear on your screen. What is your preference? What is your choice? You take one of the 3 and you click on submit. Let's go. We start now. I invite everyone to select one option.
A question from Nora is, how long is the walk?
It depends of so many things. If you are any chance, maybe a few days, but as we'll see in just a minute, it could be longer, and there's no guarantee. That's what I can say for now. And thanks for the question. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's end the poll and share the result. All right. We have a tie. 50% Bulgaria and 50% Greece by boat. No one choose Greece by foot. All right. Dear candidates, it's your time to make your choice. The rest of the group will have not really helped you, but So you tell me what is your choice and why you choose the option you select. Okay, let's start with Imam. So it is Nora. Nora, I will give you the time to write in the Q&A what is your choice, and you can, if you can, write also in a one sentence or two why you have choose this option. I will give you the time. During that, I will ask Donovan, who is Mahmoud. So, what is his choice and why?
I chose to walk to Bulgaria. And because I'm 18 years old, I hope I have strength to be able to walk such a distance. If I was a little bit older or younger, I don't know if I have the strength, but being 18,
Okay, can you give me your last stance, because your microphone went off and on. You choose to go by walk, and I lost it. I lost it.
does this sound better?
Yeah, go ahead.
I chose to walk to Bulgaria because I'm 18 years old. I'm a young adult. If I was too young, like a child, or if I was older, I don't know if I'd be able to make the journey, but I think I have the strength as an adult.
Okay, great. I got you 10 on 10. Thank you, Donovan. All right. All right. Everybody can see the Imam answer on the Q&A, Nora. So I will read it. So I'd go to Greece by boat because it is too difficult to walk given my age. Yeah, exactly. Like you are 60 something. So walk, yeah, it could be very tough. All right. Thank you for sharing your answer, Eman. And finally, Mo Mokli. All right. What is your choice? Rojin, what is your option and why you choose this?
I would choose to walk to Bulgaria because I'm 21 and it'll be way easier to hide from border patrols and whatnot if you're walking by foot compared to when you're on sea. You don't really have that option in case if like a coast guard tries to catch you and you get caught.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Thank you. So this is the general situation concerning each option. And after that, we'll go specifically to your choice. For those that attempt to arrive in Europe via Bulgaria on foot, you risk being stopped by the border police or by criminals. One is not better than the other because you will most likely be beaten and robbed. You will have to go through dangerous routes that are sparsely populated. The forests are dense, and you will have to cross mountainous region. When you go to Greece by foot, none of us in the poll or between our candidates choose this option, but it is very difficult to cross the Greek-Turkish border. The living conditions on the Greek mainland are no better than are on Greek islands. There are still very few refugees who are transferred to other European countries because very few countries want to accept them. And finally, for those that attempt to arrive in Europe via Greece by boat, you know that Turkish authorities have put in place more security to make it more difficult for refugee claimants to go to Greece by boat. Therefore, it is now more difficult and dangerous to make it there. This is a testimony of someone who chose to cross the Mediterranean.
I looked around and all I saw was the open sea. At that moment, I feared for my life. I had no air to breathe because the place was so overcrowded. My legs started to feel numb from the way I was sitting. We had neither food nor water.
Mahmoud,
Yes?
you chose to cross Bulgaria by foot. Unfortunately, you were arrested en route in Bulgaria by the border authorities that send you back to your country of origin. For this reason, I will ask you to close your camera. Sometimes you don't even have the possibility of bringing all your children on the journey. Maria had to choose who to bring and who to leave behind. Let's hear her story.
Once I arrived in Turkey, the smuggler told me that I could continue with only one child. I decided to bring the youngest one with me, but it was horrible to leave behind my two other sons to fend for themselves. Since the smokers know that I'm in France, they think I'm rich. They asking 20,000 euro to smuggle my son Glenn. How I can manage with my 700 euros of government aid? For many months now, Blent doesn't want to talk to me because he doesn't understand why I don't help him more. I don't know how he is doing now.
Iman, Nora, you choose to enter Greece by boat. You are one of the 1,417 refugees who died in 2020 on the Mediterranean. Your journey finished here. Rojin, congratulations. You have succeeded in reaching Europe. You will have other challenge to face, but we'll get to those later. You can turn off your camera, but I will call you back very soon. So stay tuned. All right. We are set for our second journey. I need, once again, 3 volunteers. Like I said at the beginning, if you were a candidate in the first part, you can be a candidate once again. So, I have some volunteers, please? All right. Like I said, you open your camera and I will know that you will be a candidate. You can also just raise your hand and participate with a microphone or with the chat. All right. Okay. Since there's no rush to open your camera. We'll continue in another way. I will present you the three candidates, and you will have to choose. Everyone will have to choose on the chat. Okay, so please join me when I will ask you to share your decision, your option, okay, on the chat. I'll need you because it is a group activity. All right, let's continue. So I will present you three new entities. All right, you see them. Let's talk about them a little bit. So first we have Mohammed. Mohammed, okay, from Somalia, 49 years old, unsuccessful in his search for his wife and 4 children. After that, we have Kazima from South Sudan, a young girl, young female, 16 years old, a single mother who was raped. She has a 1-month-old son. And finally, Antoine, 40 years old, from Congo. His wife and 3 children, aged 9, 7, and 3, are with him. All right. Our 3 candidates are all from Africa. To escape the precarious situation where they find themselves, they choose to take the option that 30 to 40% of refugees choose, live in a refugee camp. You've managed, correct me, they managed to reach a camp in Uganda. Let's watch this video on what it's like to live in a refugee camp.
After days, weeks of travel, if not more, you finally arrive at a refugee camp. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees is in charge of most camps. They are supposed to be temporary, but they have become settlements of millions. Currently, the average length of stay in a refugee camp is 17 years. With overcrowding and extended stays, it is not surprising that the minimum space requirements are rarely respected. You will be continually asked to share your space in order to reduce costs. At first, you may have a tent, but soon you will have to build your own shelter. Access to water, food, and healthcare is minimal. Electricity and heating are rare or unreliable. In short, you are still in a very dire situation.
All right. So our candidates arrive to the camp. They receive some food, but they are still hungry. What they're going to do? I will show you 5 options for them. I will ask you, okay, to select one of the options, what they should do. All right. They can steal from others. They can find work. They can find work for their children, if they have children, of course. They can save money to start a small business, or they can do nothing. So the poll will appear on the screen. I invite everyone. What is your suggestion? What is your choice for our candidates? We have 30 seconds. Let's go. Going good. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's end the poll and share the results. Thank you, Hugo. All right. No one chose stealing. Find work, 50%. 38% save money to start a small business. And 13% find work for your children. Once again, let's see what are the general result of the choices of these choices. Okay, first of all, nobody choose stealing, but for those that attempt to steal from others, usually you are caught by other refugees and are beaten. You can hide. There's so many people in the camp, and since there are no police, so justice is the home people justice. All right. About finding work, for those that attempt to find work, even with the best efforts, you do not succeed. There is not really work in the camp. Outside the camp, in the surrounding area, sometimes there are the few jobs, but since people are in the camp for so long, the jobs are always taken. For those that attempt to find work for their children, sometimes you succeed to finding work for your child. It is hard work, but it is a means of survival for the family. For those that want to open a small business, after going many months with less food, you save enough money to start your small business. You realize the big risk you have undertaken because your small business is not stable, and you still struggle to fulfill your basic needs. Finally, for those who didn't change anything, so they live day by day, day to day, in the hope that somebody or someday you may return to your country of origin. Let's listen now Jean-Pierre's testimony on this the situation in refugee camps.
Now I'm in a refugee camp in Botswana. It is sad to see how people live in this refugee camp. The majority of children don't go to school. Drunkenness and prostitution are common. Girls prostitute themselves. Many become pregnant between the ages of 14 and 16. It's very sad because many are infected with HIV. Many adults aged 22 and older die of AIDS. The majority of children under the age of 5 die because of diarrhea or malnutrition. The majority of refugees are desperate because they can't work, since it's very difficult to obtain a work permit here. Approximately only 5% of refugees work. To make money, one has to steal, to prostitute oneself, or sell one's food.
For Mohamed and Antoine, the situation is difficult and doesn't get better day by day. For some, especially for children, refugee camps should not signal the end of one's education. Different projects here and there demonstrate that education is a great source of hope for refugees, just like it was for Ayat.
I came to the camp in 1998. I did my primary and secondary education here, and I thought that's the end of my education because I'm a refugee. But then I got the chance to be admitted to university through Jesuit Commons Higher Education at the margins. I am now doing the diploma course, and it will brighten my future. I will be able to get a degree in any university of the world.
The one of our three candidates who made it to the next step is Kazima with her young 1-month-old baby. With the support of the community, she found a way to get some food for his young one. We'll see her later. All right, it is the time for the third route. This is our three candidates. First, you have Jorge or George, a male, 29 years old, from Guatemala, widower and father of two young children. After that, we have Jessica, a teen from at 15 years old from El Salvador, and Nadej from Haiti, woman of 51 years old, mother of an adult child living in the USA. Their plan? Yeah, you probably find the answer already. Since they are from Latin America and the Caribbean, they hoping to reach the north. Many countries in their regions have rampant gang violence, which force thousands like Mauricio to flee their homes every year. Let's listen to his story.
I received a call from a man who told me, "Give me $400 by Friday, or I will kill you and all of your family." I had to find a way to leave.
To escape the precarious situation in which they find themselves, they try to make it to the United States. Unfortunately, many anti-immigration policies make it almost impossible for them to enter to the USA. And there are no official camps in America either. Hence, they will do what the majority of refugees are forced to choose: live in as an urban refugee in a neighboring country, they find themselves all in Mexico City. So, to survive, they need money for food and lodging. How they are going to earn a living. They must choose between. You see the three options on your screen: a poorly paid job, a better paid job, but a dangerous one, or try to find an NGO, non governmental organization, that could help them with a bit of money and food or food. All right, let's have a poll. You will see the three options. I invite everyone to select one of the three options starting now. All right, things going good. 5 seconds left. And 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's share the result. Okay, the majority chose find a non-governmental organization, and 2 of you chose a poorly paid job or a better paid but most dangerous job. Okay, once again, let's see what are the general consequences of these choices. So, for those that choose the poorly paid job, you barely make enough money to pay for rent or food. You work long hours, often 7 days a week, but you can complain because you don't have documents that allow you to work legally. And the employer takes advantage of your situation. For those that choose the dangerous job, this is an example of what often happen. After 3 months, you get a serious injury that prevents you from working. The employer fires you. You didn't make enough money to pay a doctor, your rent, or your food. Finally, most of you chose the NGO. Usually, you found an NGO that gives some training on how to operate a small business and what also lends some money to start it. But the resources, human resources, financial resources are so little. So they are doing their best, but they can't give big help or a lot of help. There's another problem. In the urban refugee setting, women and children are particularly vulnerable to sexual and gender-based violence, HIV/AIDS, as well as human trafficking. Sarah from Sudan is a survivor of such violence. Let's listen her story.
When you enter Libya, the smugglers sell you between them. If you don't have money to pay for your freedom, they abuse you.
As an urban refugee, you don't have the right to work. You have to work under the table, like Daniel did. Let's hear his story.
Many Asians work in the hotel business or in construction. They build all the hotels and buildings. The politicians, I see them every day. Once night falls, immigration services come in a white pickup. They check all the undocumented and take them outside the city to the yellow buses that take them to the border.
But there are also organizations like NGO that empower refugees to learn a trade and earn a living. Let's hear Marta's story.
I live in Johannesburg with my children and 6 grandchildren. I make a living from making fabulous sofa and chair covers, tablecloths, and placemats and cushions. I'm in my late 50s and I'm a vibrant and very optimistic person. Nothing gets me down, for sure.
In any chance, one of our 3 candidates find a way to cross the border between Mexico and Texas, and still hoping now to find a way to stay in the USA. So, at the beginning of activity, I told you we'll find a way to come to Canada. So actually, we have one person in Europe, one person in a refugee camp in Africa, in Uganda to be precise, and we have Georgia, so the refugee at the border of Texas and Mexico. So the goal of our journey is, can we make it to Canada? So we'll see. We have first to verify if one of them is eligible to be sponsored to Canada. Let's start with Rogen, who is in Europe. Rogen, we met you during the first journey. So I will share my screen. All right. Well, Rogen, you are among those who arrive in Europe but are not welcome. Discriminatory policies against migrants make it difficult at every turn, and you live in fear of losing your status and being deported. That's why you will not come to Canada. You will try to install yourself in Europe. But still you're in Europe. I'm sorry. So since you are in Europe, it's not the end for you. It's the start. It's the beginning. There are many community groups in Europe to help welcome migrants and break down barriers. Through these kinds of initiatives, prejudices diminish. Let's hear Ali's story.
There are Romanians who helped me when no one else helped me. I left Syria because of the war. When I arrived here, I didn't feel like a refugee. I felt like any other normal person. What makes me happy here is that I can finally create my new life, that I can stand on my own 2 feet.
All right, now let's going back to the Mexico-USA border. Let's say that it is extremely difficult to be sponsored to Canada from Latin America. In 2020, nearly all sponsored refugees who arrived in Canada were not from the Americas. If you manage to enter the United States and subsequently decide to travel to Canada to seek asylum at a regular port of entry, Canadian authorities will, with rare exceptions, divert you back due to the Canada-US Safe Third Country Agreement. Instead, you may enter Canada irregularly with the difficulties inherent in that choice. If you have family in Canada, you may be eligible for family reunification, but it is another long and difficult process, as Frankie experienced.
You know, Daddy left us alone with Mommy. I prayed a lot for him to come back, but he won't come back. Now I have to find another daddy.
All right. For those who are in the camp, they are eligible to be sponsored to Canada, especially if they are put on a high priority list by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, because you are extremely vulnerable to being abused or abused. This means that you must be resettled to another country as soon as possible. So, all of you, let's take the identity of Kezima. For now, for the next 2 minutes, you are all Kezima. What are your chances of being resettled to another country, and that country being Canada? All right. This is the 2019 numbers. 2020, they are a little bit less chances to be resettled. You probably will see it in the next part, but let's stick on the 2019 numbers you have on your screen. So 1.4 million refugees were on the high priority list I just told you about. So from this list, only in 2019, only about 107,000 persons were resettled. And on this 100,000 number, only 9,000 were resettled in Canada. In 2020, the number fell to 34,000, and only 3,000 were resettled to Canada. So today, to all of you, we will give you the same chance as the high priority refugee in 2020. The chance will appear now on the screen. You see 97% that you will have to wait till next year, 2.5 to a different country, and 0.25% chance to get resettled to Canada. We'll start the wheel again. Okay, just have to put camera and going back to the wheel. Select camera, my camera. All right. You went too fast. All right. Thank you, Hugo. All right. So everyone, good luck. This is your chance. I'm so sorry to tell you all that you will have to wait at least next year to see if you get resettled. After this long and perilous journey, you may believe that you lost your dignity or even your identity because others may not consider you as a person nor a citizen, but a refugee, a number among so many refugees. The one thing we can all do to respond is never forget the inherent dignity of every person, no matter what their immigration status is, the country they come from, or the country they find themselves in. Our journey ends here. Before leaving you, I just want to invite you to take 1 minute to think about all you see during the presentation, all the information, the testimonies. And I just want to invite you to write a reflection, an idea, maybe something, a part of the content of this presentation that struck you, that make you think a little bit more about this subject. So it's an open project, if I can say it like that. So I would like to see you in the chat. Leave us a few words or what came in at your mind right now at the end of this journey. During that time that you will write these words, I'd invite you to keep in touch with organizations like JRS Canada, like CJI, or you will see also, Donovan probably will tell you about that. Keep in touch with the refugees world. You can follow us on the social network, Instagram or Facebook. So just write JRS Canada and you will find our pages. So I thank you so much to take the time to write a few words in the chat during the time we conclude our activity. So I give it back to Donovan. We are good on time, I think. We did it.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, to you, Donovan. Thank you.
Well, again, I'd like to thank you, Eve, and JRS Canada for such an excellent and eye-opening presentation. And as he just said, you can go to just type JRS into Google and find their social media pages. And further, you can type CJI Canada or Canadian Jesuits International to learn more about future events held by CJI, as well as other events in this general symposium and general conference that will be happening later today. But again, as we still have these fantastic comments coming in, I'd like to thank Eve, JRS, and all of you for participating in today's symposium. Again, have a good, wherever you are, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or good night. And thank you.
Thank you, everyone.